Test. Test. Hi, friends. Nice to see you. It's been a while since I touched these buttons, so I'm fucking it up already. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Lochlin Cross joins us. How's Alberta? How's Alberta today? What's going on in Alberta? It's cold and dreary in Ontario. I'm in Toronto. You're in Edmonton. Is it snowing there already? Is that what you said?
No. It's hot. 28 degrees today. Yesterday it got above 30. It was supposed to be. They keep saying we're going to get the winds are going to shift.
You're going to get a nor'easter?
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's weather stuff, I guess.
Okay.
I've heard it. I've heard weather things like people say it's a nor'easter coming through. You're not getting a nor'easter. Chinook? Do you get Chinooks there, or is that Calgary?
Calgary is, we don't really get Chinooks. We're not close enough to the mountains, because what needs to happen is you need to have the weather needs to shift quickly in order to get a Chinook, and we don't have that. Like, we're 4 hours from 3.5 hours from Jasper.
Yeah.
Right. And we're 2 hours, 2.5 hours from. Did you ever hear that story about what's his name? DiCaprio. He was filming that movie where he fought a bear.
Oh, yeah. That was a great movie. I can't remember the name of it, where it was filmed in Alberta, and he went on this big oil sands. Like, you got to stop digging in the oil sands. No more oil. Leave the oil on the ground. And then he took his private jet that just uses premium oil everywhere.
Well, and he was flipping out about climate change, which I'm not suggesting isn't fake, but he was very, very upset because one day it was -10, and then the next day it was +10, and he goes, "There's something wrong," and everyone's like, "It was a Chinook, you idiot."
Yeah, welcome to fucking Alberta.
We've been getting those for forever.
Yeah. Speaking of climate change, you notice too? I was
26 degrees right now.
Well, nice to see you, Edmonton. I was laughing yesterday because, speaking of climate change, you know those forest fires that have been happening across Canada, like the most in history because of climate change?
That's eco-terrorism. How dumb
are we?
Do you have to be to think that someone's running around the bushes
lighting fires to save the environment? Yeah.
You know what? Can I listen? You're going to finish your story.
People in white hat. Hang on. There's no story. I just wanted to point out that the same people, and I fucking laugh every time I see it, the same accounts on Twitter, Facebook, the same people that used to be remember constitutional law experts about masks? Remember that? Remember that? The constitutional mask law experts? How's that? How's my volume there? Is that better? Test. 1, 2. Test. Thanks. They pivoted to vaccine scientists and experts in vaccinology, right? Same account. Yeah. And then they pivoted after that. To experts in gender fluidity and gender studies.
They don't like.
Well, they're not done. And then they pivoted, and then a couple months ago, they're like, "Hey, forest fires. These are man-made eco-terrorism. That's what's going on." Then they became experts in forestry and climate change. Now they're experts in parental rights. It's amazing. I mean, these are the same counts. I just want to say, well done. I mean, there are some really well-rounded hillbillies out there. This is awesome. I love it.
Grant had a rant. It was 3 or 4 days after he got back from. He took some time off because he just had a baby. Him and Michaela had a little baby girl. Birdie.
Oh, his dad. Congratulations, dude. I didn't even know that.
They've got a couple of kids at home.
Did he take pat leave? Did he take pat leave? There's a question I have for you.
He
one of those guys
took a couple of weeks, which I think you get anyway, and then he came back to work.
All right.
I think he needs a break because she has 2 from a previous marriage, and now they've added a 3rd. So
I have one friend that took paternity leave. By the way, one friend.
Yeah,
took paternity leave, and he's like, "I'm off for 6 months."
Does he also have 2 last names?
I got to tell you, it is. I look at paternity leave. Listen, I look at paternity leave like it's a soft move. I really do. For anybody who's going to take mat or paternity leave, mind you, because I have 3 kids, right? So I know what it's like to be at home when they're home, especially all 3 of them. I love them. They're adults. We're the best friends. They all live with me. We hang out. My eldest guy is my blunt roller. He's the king. He's like 23 years old. Just beautiful relationship I have with my kids. But when you're younger, right?
Yeah.
And someone's like, I'm going to take pad leave and I'm going to stay at home with all 3 of my kids plus a newborn. I'm like, I give that 2 months. Sure enough, my friend Daryl, won't say his name, Spring, not his last name. That's his last name. He's like, I'm taking pad leave for 6 months. I go, I give it 2 months. 2.5 weeks later, that fucking guy was back at work. He was like, yeah, I can't do it. This is fucking insane.
Honestly, we're not wired to be, and if you're a dude and you have that gene or that wiring where you can stay home with the kids and the wife is, she's the one that makes the money or whatever the decision is behind parental leave, I'm okay with it. I could not do it. I removed myself from parenting, and it's the best decision I made. We've joked about this before, but I
thought you were lying. I remember you told me that your wife raised the kids and you just took a step back and you just showed up like to dance recitals. You did all the physical hard labor of being a parent, but
I did all the conflict stuff.
Yeah.
Someone needed to be yelled at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like when I met your wife and I'm like, hey, is it true you raised the kids? She goes, yeah, he didn't do shit. And I'm happy he didn't because they wouldn't have turned out this awesome. And I'm like, holy fuck, you weren't lying. You did not raise your children. Good for you. Smart.
I take credit for certain things, and you should see the eyebrows I get when I do. Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, you did nothing.
Now I got to tell you this story about because Grant kind of nailed this.
Oh, about the expert accounts, the experts, everybody's experts and everything now.
And he actually called out somebody he went to school with. And in the rant, he goes, listen, everybody that I know that's an expert in this now was an idiot in high school. And he goes, you know how I know you were an idiot? Because we had the same grades, Kyle. You and I both barely passed every year. And he starts ranting about it's so true. I think there's a certain type of personality that ends up that they're dumb guys.
Yeah, an idiot.
And they're not comfortable with being dumb guys.
I know, but somehow they got wings over the past 3 years. And you're like, you know what? I read this one meme. I'm going to fucking give it to everybody on climate change today. And you're like, yeah, do it. That's awesome. Like, I'm at that point with these people, and you're right, and Grant's right. Like, listen, and I'll tell tales out of school. I don't mind. So I have a family, my extended family, not my kids, but, family. And I'll just say that. Just say family. Unequivocally, the dumbest people in my family are now all experts in climate change, vaccinology. Every conspiracy theory is correct.
Yeah.
The parental rights bullshit. They all become experts for like a 3-month cycle, depending on what country feeds them what load of shit that might align with their religious values or their belief system. And I love it. I think it's great now because I don't care. Right? It's like, oh, it's just a fucking mark of an idiot. Like I just absolutely know anybody who tells me something definitively from an account that says Bry Guy 6295 in any capacity with anything to do with health, mental health, climate change, anything to do with science. I'm like, oh yeah, that's literally it now. Like, it's like, oh yeah. And I can't believe people are still fighting it. Anyway, I found it fucking fascinating. And Grant's right. Every single person that is a self-proclaimed expert in those fields that tell everybody what they know is that dumb person from your family or that idiot in your school or that person that never had any friends that magically found some because a bunch of other idiots are saying the same stuff. So they think we're like virtual friends. It's the best. I love it. 2023 is a riot.
What it is now is, to me, it's disheartening and it's exhausting because I've reached a point where I've sort of come to the conclusion that there is no hope for us and we might as well just light it all on fire. And the reason why I'm saying that is because nothing can happen now where there isn't some alternative reason why it's happening. Like, listen, I get it. No one's a 100%. No one 100% definitively can say how much of the climate change situation is causing the forest fires. You just can't.
Yeah, scientists can.
They can, but they can't say exactly how much. There is
Not
a percentage.
To like the 0.1%, but yeah, like 80%, 85% of the wildfires that we've seen in Canada have all been climate change related. Like the vast majority.
But they also can't say exactly how many were man-made. Like,
doesn't
you know
matter
what I mean?
when 85%.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. And again, because there is some gray area in that discussion, it opens the door for these crazies to move in and give it another explanation. And listen, I'm as skeptical as the next person, but we are not going to fix the problems that we live with the world that we live in right now if we have 25% of the population believing that people are running around deliberately starting forest fires to further the climate change narrative. Like, we're fucked.
Just because we're libtards. Yeah. Just because
Dean,
dude, no,
it's over. No, it's over. Like, light it all on fire.
I know.
I swear
Listen,
to God, like, if
they're
you're
just the loudest assholes in the room, that's what dumb people do. Dunning-Kruger on display. That's all
Dean,
it is.
We need to get to a point where we
put them in cages.
No, there's a better way.
Okay, I don't think there is, but go ahead.
There is. Okay,
right.
That same guy thinks that the government is behind the evacuation of his home and somehow is going to steal his stuff and won't evacuate.
That's my favorite one.
Leave
the WEF thing, dude. The WEF thing attached to this makes me laugh my ass off. They're like, Klaus Schwab has guys. This is the narrative that comes up with these fucking wackos. I love it. No, to me, it's entertainment. Now it's not even a problem. I'm like, that's not a problem. These guys are just idiots. I just accept that everybody has the same ability to reason and somewhat of a reasonable IQ like I do. Maybe not.
No.
Maybe that's a big assumption. But what I'm saying is that the narrative around the Klaus Schwab thing, where the leader of the World Economic Forum is sending people into Canada to light these fires, and his whole goal, they've already fucking realized what the goal is, right? They've already oh yeah, this is the goal. The whole goal is to take your land away from you, saying you can't live here anymore because, and then to speculate prices, and they come in and they buy up all this land that's all burnt out, that's happening in Hawaii. It's happening right now. You have literally fucking politicians in this country retweeting that stuff. And I can't stop laughing. Like, it's not, I don't even take it serious anymore. Like, we used to see, oh, this is terrible. When's the world going to, no, man.
You missed my fix.
This is the best. What's your
You
fix?
missed my fix. Okay.
What is it?
There's people in Florida that weren't leaving that town that was going to get hit by that hurricane.
Adalia?
They weren't leaving because they thought there was some kind of conspiracy
the panhandle right now, by the way. Oh, what do you mean? They said
let them stay.
Yeah, let them go.
Just
totally
good luck, Jerry.
100%. Yeah.
Strap in.
You know what?
And just give them a good little wave.
As you pull out with your truck loaded with the dog and some canned goods, because you're going to get to higher ground, wave to Jerry, say, dude, what? So take me. They think that. So there are people in Florida.
I'm not leaving. I've been here for 50 years. I've been through the work.
That's different. But what is the conspiracy theory? Because this is a fucking big.
Oh, there's a conspiracy things.
But what is it? I don't know.
There's conspiracy theories about everything. Everything now. Every weather situation. Every fire.
So some people in Florida and the crazies, the QAnon fuckos, they think that the hurricane isn't real, and they're just trying to get people out of the house so Klaus Schwab
will
steal their land.
This.
Is that real?
Maybe they'll die. And if they die, maybe they won't have kids.
Listen, it's called natural selection for a reason, Locke.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We don't have to wish anything on anybody here. In fact, I won't.
I'm trying not to because I'm trying to be a better person.
No, I'm totally not a better person than that. We talked about this 1,000 times. But there's a reason why, the whole vaccine conversation coming up anymore. Guys, girls, don't care. Same thing with your conspiracy. No one cares. We want to leave you to we want to do whatever we want devices because we're crazy, because we know something you don't, is that you'll die first. We're good. I'm good. Natural selection. It's good. Yeah. I'm a fan.
We also have to get to a point, Dean, where we can start to and I said this when we were, balls deep in the middle of the conversation with, the freedom fighters and the COVID's fake and all that. I was frustrated because I thought that there should have been conversations about what was wrong, what our public officials did wrong. It's healthy not to trust. It's healthy to have a certain amount of speculation about things, right? Sure. Because generally speaking, you're kind of on your own. Like, we're on our own. We have to 100%. Be smart about what we what we're told, and you have to do. And again, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but you have to do your research. I just finished watching that.
Well, you hold it. You have to listen to tell people in 2023 you have to do your research. Let me just add a quick addendum. You might as well hang up.
I might as well put a flag on my roof right now.
You might as well. Yeah. That too. But you telling people to do their own research. Number one, you're in the fuck Trudeau crowd for sure. So good. We got a guy on that team. That's awesome. Yeah. The second part of that is the people you're talking to who go, yeah, I need to do my own research. Which I encourage people to read. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. With Matthew Broderick, it's incredible.
Oh, my God.
To do your own research, you have to be able to comprehend the research you're reading.
That's a good point.
There's the issue.
Yes. No, but a healthy level of speculation and skepticism, I think, is good.
Absolutely.
But we have to be able to have these conversations. And for some reason we lost the ability to do that somewhere along the line. And I think we're being dragged back.
I'm happy about that. Like, I was thinking about it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. A friend of mine called. He's like, we don't talk anymore. I'm like, it's 'cause you're kind of an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? And he's like, what do you mean? And so I told him, I'm like, listen, we don't share the same values. Like, the pandemic was one of the greatest things in the world for me. It was like pruning a tree, the friendship tree, right? I was like, chop, 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 chop. Oh, chop. Oh yeah. Chop, chop, chop. So now, like, when people call me, it's like, hey, you off me? I'm like, yeah, I just don't think we share the same values. You can call me crazy. I have a finite amount of time. I'm not spending it chasing relationships with idiots. I'll tell you that. Anyway, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think we have to get to a point where we can start to have some conversations. We're dealing with something in Alberta right now where, and everything is turned into some sort of, it's turned into some sort of battleground thing, right? And I'm frustrated by it. And I'm not a supporter of Danielle Smith, but she's trying to get the federal government to fund more hydrogen energy sources and do a little bit more work on that regard, right? And guess what she's decided to do? She's stopped all green energy projects because in her mind they're not spending enough money on natural gas, right? And clean energy. Like,
so wait a second. Idiot. Your premier stopped all renewable energy resource investment into the province, right? Is that
we're not going to do any more wind? We're not going to do any more solar because you're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that's what is
in a time when financial institutions will lend you money at no interest to get into doing renewable resources in the billions. They're not lending money for fossil fuel, anything. They're lending money for renewables. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, we don't need it. Everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She just decides that she doesn't want to do it because she wants to sell her friends oil. Is that the deal?
Listen, that's the problem, is that you take extremes on things like that. Both sides do. Should we be looking at natural gas as an alternative? Absolutely, we should be. We got a ton here. Does it make sense for other parts of the country? No, it makes sense in Alberta. She's not wrong. But you're not winning any wars here by killing all of the green energy projects or slowing those down. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And that's what happens. And so I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with how things progress, because that's what happens. We end up in these battles over ideology, and she's not wrong. We should be exploring, there's ways of taking the natural gas that we have and exploring the hydrogen energy projects. It's definitely something we should be looking at. The federal government isn't spending the money she thinks they should be spending on it. So she cancels all the green energy products? Like, what are you doing?
She's fucking insane. You're an idiot. Dude, she's like a fucking insane
You're an idiot.
Freak. She is an idiot.
Anyway, it's another highlight. It highlights the differences between our division and the fact that we're not growing and we should just light it all on fire.
Yeah, no, that's what an idiot does. An idiot makes an emotionally destructive decision. That's what idiots do. Speaking of idiots.
Positive Mike brings up nuclear power. Same thing. We should be exploring nuclear power. Like we should be, right? We should be actually focusing on that.
Whatever. I don't care. I don't even care if we explore more.
You're with
oil,
me.
to be honest.
You're with me lighting it all on fire.
Yeah. I could care less. I mean, you just fucking give us cheap gas. Like, is it that hard to give Canadians cheap gas? We have so much oil underneath our fucking ground that's just sitting there. Like, is it that hard to give us cheap gas to do? Like, we buy gas from Saudi Arabia and oil. Not that I give a shit at the moment because everybody uses oil. Like, no one gets upset or angry when their car works, right? When they have to go somewhere. Everybody's like, yeah, look at me. I'm green and I drive a Tesla. First of all, you're a fucking idiot. It's just a fucking homemade tracking device that'll lock up on you as soon as you crash into a wall because your car can't stop because it won't. So there's that. But when you're talking about gas and oil, I'm like, I phase out. Like I phase out the same way I phase out when I meet a guy who's got an I love oil and gas shirt. I'm like, there's no way you love oil and gas. There's no way you love both those compounds. Like I could care less about those things. So when we talk about those things, yeah, who gives a shit? I don't really give a shit. It'd be nice if we could harness the wind.
We're still burning more fossil fuels.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, until we sort that out, we're going to have to keep, like, I don't think there's a danger of that stopping. But should we be exploring alternatives? Absolutely, we should.
100%.
We should be exploring all of them, and we should be throwing money at all of them.
And transitioning into a cleaner energy
Absolutely.
And getting people educated as to what that is. But this government doesn't do a great job. No government really does. It's just a fight against special interests. It's oil fighting government, government fighting oil, hippies fighting oil, oil fighting hippies. It's fucking ridiculous.
Money.
Anyway, we're climate people. We know about climate change. We believe in it. We understand it. Speaking of fossils, are you watching Ted Lasso, gentlemen? Are you watching this show? Jason Sudeikis soccer show? You seen it? I
started watching it about a month ago, and I finished watching the last episode last night.
Yeah,
and I absolutely love it. It's one of the best shows I've watched in the last couple of years.
Why do you like it, Lochlin?
That and Snowfall was really good. Although the ending of Snowfall just
haven't seen Snowfall. Started watching this show called From, which is fucking weird, by the way.
From?
Anyway, I want to get we'll get to it in a second. Ted Lasso, what do you like?
My next show is going to be Blackbird.
Also creepy. It's based on a true story. Blackbird.
Yeah. I'm going to watch that next. Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Was unbelievable. And you said something to me before I started watching it, and I kind of laughed at you. I think it might have been on this podcast. You said that show will make you a better person. And I was like, I've watched lots of TV shows and I'm still an asshole. But I actually think that there's some merit to that statement.
Right?
Because
I said this,
made me feel so good.
Day. Totally. Anytime you watch it, you're like, man, anything's possible if you're nice. Like at the end of every episode of Ted Lasso, you're like, man, that guy like religiously tries to do the right thing all the fucking time. And it works out for him.
No, he got fucked a bit. He got fucked.
I know he got fucked quite a bit, but he the way he chose to look at it, the way he chose to respond and everything, how he chose to like go, yeah, I'm getting fucked, but that's okay, right? Or like issue after issue after issue. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to do our best. The cliches about doing your best for people, the cliches about loving people, the way he talks about his family. And it gives me goosebumps even just to talk about Ted Lasso. Never mind fucking watch it. But it legitimately is the only show of its kind where they're like, hey, let's do a TV show about doing the right thing and kindness and empathy. See how it goes. And Jason Sudeikis hit a home run because I don't know of any other show like it. At the end of that show, every single episode of that show, there's a moment. And I don't know if he does this on purpose. And I won't give anything away. And then I want to talk about Hannah Waddington because she might be the hottest babe on the planet.
Yeah.
There's a moment at the end of every episode of Ted Lasso where I'm like, man, I need to do more of that. Like, I need to respond like that to people in my life who give me a hard time or try to fuck me over. I need to find a better way to be, because that's all Ted Lasso is, just finding a better way to be, a brighter way to look at the world. And dude, we do not operate like that on a daily basis.
No, and I didn't get any of that from that show.
You didn't?
I didn't leave any episode going, I need to be.
Yeah, I know, but you're you, dude.
Not that I need to draw a line in the sand about the differences between the two of us, but there was never a moment where I was like, I don't trust people that are too nice. But the show is unbelievable. It is so well done. And you know what I took away from it?
What's that?
Was I find it interesting when a show, the strength of the show isn't one character, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when you have a cast where everyone is a killer and everyone is just nailing their roles, and it doesn't happen very often. Seinfeld, outside of Jerry, because I always thought Jerry was, there was something a little off about Jerry's acting. I never thought he was.
Oh, he's a terrible actor. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld was an awful fucking actor.
But that show was so good because anybody who ended up on that screen with them was amazing, right? Like, it was unbelievable. And even like the Newman, like, I mean, just think of all the Seinfeld characters when they were on that set, something was happening. They created an environment where everybody felt like they absolutely had to. And that was Ted Lasso for me. Every character, I was just like, oh my God, the soccer players.
Roy Kent.
You know what?
Roy Kent might be my favorite guy in that entire show. So yeah, Roy. He might be my favorite guy in the entire show.
He was brilliant.
Yeah. Like, he's just big, soft heart, but just like full fucking dropping C-bombs every fucking second word. But and gruff and an asshole. Didn't play by anybody's rules, but he really wanted to be a happy person, found a way to be a happy person. But you know who the best actress on that show is? Actress. It's got to be Hannah Waddington.
You like her, eh?
Oh. Yeah. Dude. I don't know what it is.
How old is she? And I'm not asking 60. To be a dick. You think she's 60?
Yeah, the owner of the team. The socialite, wealthy divorcee of the former owner of the team, who, by the way, has some dalliances with a gentleman from the team. So she dates younger. Just wanted to point that out. But I think Hannah, I can't remember how old. Here's her with Lady Gaga. Not awful.
No.
Is she really well attractive?
Is she well known in England? Because
because
I've never heard of her before until Ted Lasso. She was in
Game of Thrones.
Was she?
Yeah, dude. I believe she was, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I
don't think she's
married. She is 49. Dude, 49. She's younger than me.
I was gonna say, she's gorgeous. You know what it is, and you and I were talking about this. The way she carried herself. Yeah, was so attractive, right? And I was blown away by her. And you know what? Now that I have been, now I've watched this and I've been talking about it and I've been Googling it. There's stuff popping up in my feed, like they're doing interviews and stuff like that. Jason Sudeikis on the Tonight Show and Juno, who is Keeley. She's, she did quite a press tour for Ted Lasso, and then the Emmys too, because they cleaned up at the Emmys. They did a bunch of interviews.
I couldn't figure out why, because the acting's not like the acting is spectacular, right? It's
I disagree.
I disagree. I don't know if it's that great. I don't know that it's bad.
No, I think
just
it's
love
brilliant.
The lessons, like the existential shit, the philosophy that's behind that show. I think it's fucking awesome.
I think the acting was phenomenal in it. Even the her manager, like, what's his name? Leslie?
Yeah.
He was fucking brilliant.
Oh, he was great. Yeah, the goofy bastard.
So funny.
He's always smiling.
He was so funny. And the beard and his buddy, with the beard, his partner in crime,
the
helped him coach.
Yeah.
Unbelievable actor. Unbelievable.
I don't know that he's going to win any awards for it. I mean, he doesn't say a lot
for that show, though.
Yeah, he's really good, dude. It's a great show. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't think it's like Magnolia level acting. That's all. Not that I care. It's
every single one of those actors and actresses in that Ted Lasso that will ignite their career in North America. We'll see them in a bunch of stuff moving forward. All of them.
I would like to. I'm a big fan of Hannah Waddington. She can be in more stuff if you ask me. Big fan.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
It was the confidence.
Yeah.
Like how she carried herself was just so attractive.
That's the thing, right? Like the older I get, the more it's like I am very attracted to like seriously confident women that walk into a room and fucking own it.
Yeah.
Like where you walk in and you're like, oh, that, yeah. She's confident. Confidence is like
not a cocky thing.
Maybe that's why I like Hannah Waddington so much in the show. Is Rebecca Welton, the owner of the team, is she's confident. She's got this like she's got an intellect to her. She's got a fucking wicked sense of humor. She's got a dirty mouth, and I'm like, my God,
yeah,
she's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Back in the day, not so much. Yeah, I do too. Anyway, List has come out. The List, by the way. You heard of The List?
I have a feeling I know where we're going based on what you sent me, and I opened that, and I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Well, you should, because it concerns all of us. Every year, journal gets published in the New England Journal of Medicine and Health, and it's out early this week. It's the things we got stuck in our assholes over the last year, 2022. Significant.
Is this North America or is this around the? What is that?
This is America, just in the United. That's a Buzz Lightyear doll in that X-ray, bud, right up the rectum, right up the old poop chute. There you go, to infinity and beyond.
I see it now.
You can see the Buzz
You really have to have done some work to be able to get a Buzz Lightyear thing.
Yeah,
there's
well,
the
wings are contracted, right? So it's a lot easier when the wings are pulled in.
I've seen those toys. That's not. Here's my thing. Can I say this out
loud? The list before you start? Well, no, go ahead. Well, you go ahead, and then we'll get to the list of things. By the way, you're welcome. Things that have been found inside people's anuses, vaginas, and penises. Go ahead.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
And this is not a pastime of mine. And if it was,
you don't hoop stuff.
I'm not I've
not
never
a boofer?
been. No, I don't even want a finger in there. Like I just stay away. I've
say no to the toothless cat.
Yes. Like apparently Ted Nugent's into it. If you watch one of his podcasts, there was a big dildo on his bookshelf,
and he likes to hoop it.
And listen, I've had conversations on my radio show multiple times when things get stuck in people's asses. We usually have a conversation about it. We've had nurses and doctors and people phone up. We had one guy phone up. He was paramedic, and he said the weirdest thing I've seen, and he's seen a lot of things, was an apple. And then a nurse called us up one day when we were having a discussion about a guy in England who has a collection of
they're called rectal foreign objects. Yeah, RFAs. There's actually an acronym for it because people put so many things in their assholes, and
he collects,
which I'll help you
war
with.
Stuff like bombs and shells and stuff like that from World War
Artillery.
II. World War I.
They, with the little thin end, which could go.
I guess one night he decided to stick one up his ass, and he had to go to the hospital to have that removed. And this nurse called up, and she said, the one thing you learn about that and working as a nurse in the hospital is people will put anything up there. And I was like, anything? And she's like, I am telling you right now, anything.
Yeah. Wow.
It was quite common on a regular basis for somebody to come. This is the point I wanted to make before we get to the list. If I was into that, I think I would want to have a plan B, like tie a string around it or something.
Oh, you mean a base? Yeah. That's in my 4 rules for not having things stuck in your asshole. Number 1 is never put anything up your ass that doesn't have a base. Like, it's super simple. Like, if someone's like, hey, I'm thinking of boofing, I'll be like, yeah, no problem. Judgment-free zone. Does it have a retrieval string or a base?
Something to get it back out. If there's an aggressive movement and it slips too far down.
Aggressive movement. Well, yeah, like putting it up your ass Anyway, let's get to the fucking list because it's a great fucking list. As you know, if you go to crier.co, you can see the whole list yourself. List of things removed from people's rectums last year is intense. That's the name of the article. And it's happening. Like, I get it. People love bum play, butt stuff. Good for you. Zero judgment. 885 cases last year, an estimated 38,948 emergency room visits for rectal foreign bodies. Sorry, from the year 2012 to 2021. That's 40,000 people. Average age was 43. Almost all of them were men. We're sick fucks. 48% required hospitalization. 55% of foreign bodies were sexual devices. The annual incident presents a rectal foreign body increase from 1.2 to 1.9 persons in 2021. But what did we, there's Buzz. What did we find there? Oh, and there's a squirrel. That's a terrible one.
Well, no, that can't be real.
We'll just zoom right past the squirrel. Yeah, that is real. It's a real story. Yeah, it happened in Malaysia, as you can tell. 60-year-old uncle accidentally slipped in the bathroom. Said
it's always an uncle.
Fell on a squirrel.
That's what the bomb guy said. I slipped and fell, and a bomb ended up my ass.
Yeah, that's the French guy, right? That was in France. It was a French artillery.
France? I thought it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
they had to clear the whole street because it was actually a live bomb.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's right here. In April, Visual Journey of Emergency Surgery reported that a man had to be rushed into an emergency surgery after getting a, quote, can of deodorant stuck up his butt. Last year, a French senior citizen left doctors shell-shocked when he arrived with a World War I artillery shell lodged in his rectum. It caused the hospital to be partially evacuated over bomb scare concerns. That's the one. Anyway, the penis was lightly used last year in terms of insertion. This is what they found inside some penises.
Some people are into pain because that's the only explanation for that. Because you can't
car key.
You cannot tell me that is
a car key. Yeah, with the serrated edges. Maybe it was like a car key that hadn't quite been cut yet. I don't know. Don't judge. Wooden spoon, nail, easy. I can do that. I wouldn't because it's a nail, but that's easy. Pencil.
I can wrap my head around that. Although that's pretty big. Like that hole's not that big.
And it's got an eraser. Like I don't know. And it's got lead. Not a good idea. Some beads, 7-inch silicone tube, paper clip, comb teeth, a piece of soap. This is a good one. Ceiling fan chain in his penis hole states that he has been there since his shower at least 9 last night. Screwdriver tip, inflatable sex toy, USB cord, cell phone charger, and 14-inch cord lock. That was in the penis last year. Those are some of the more notable items people have.
Let's get to the vagina.
Yeah, I've said that before. Vagina. Coin, of course. It's called a coin purse. Screw. Yeah. Was holding a pen near her vagina when the cap dislodged and stuck inside. Okay.
Yeah, remove the cap too, guys.
Yeah, that's a good idea. 2 pencil sharpeners, butterfly charm, drinking cup, bobby pin, golf ball. This is in quotes. Flashlight placed in vagina by patient at home, but had no intention of it becoming stuck. Okay. Drumstick. Wow.
Nail polish bottle.
Nail polish bottle, camera lens cap, unscented perfume bar, unscented soap bar, perfume soap bar, soap dispenser, and a spatula in the vagina.
That's awesome.
Now the rectum.
This is going to be a bigger list.
It is significantly longer
because people are way more creative with the bum.
Plastic toy fish.
Okay.
Small bird toy. Silver tell me to stop anytime one grabs your attention.
Okay. Yeah.
Silver magnet. Quote, sent in by wife for possible 16-ounce glass bottle in rectum.
Here's the other thing too.
How do you do that? Like, do you go to your wife first if you get something stuck in your ass? Like this guy apparently
that's what I'm at.
Glass bottle up his ass. Is you go to his wife and go, baby, you gotta help me out here. I might be in trouble. And she's like, what is it? He's like, well, I was sticking a 16-ounce. It's a pint glass up my asshole. and it's no longer.
That's a difficult conversation, right? Like I think a lot of these things are done.
How do you approach that?
Well, here's the thing.
Start that chat.
I'm guessing
you're me.
Probably,
let's say you're you. You pooped in a pint glass, and I'm your wife. How do you do that? How do you start that conversation?
Well, first off, I think there's going to be a lot of these situations where the partner might not be aware of that other of their partner's need to fire something up their hoop.
Right.
So if they're sitting there with a squash racket and they're getting themselves off on a Friday night, I doubt their wife's in there in the room with them. So
like doing her makeup while he's hooping a squash racket and she's there going, baby, you almost got the whole handle. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I doubt that's not a team sport, I'm guessing. And I could be wrong, right?
Some people are into weird shit, dude.
I'm thinking that might be a solo activity.
Yeah.
And if you are in the need of some assistance, like here's the thing, if that squash racket does get stuck up there and it's not coming out, you're going to need a ride to the hospital too.
Yeah, and you're going to have to lay down in the back on your side. Like, that's the other thing. This is the thing no one ever thinks of when they hoop something and they have to go to ER. It's like, how you
You're not walking upright, right?
You're not getting there sitting down. You're fucked. Yeah. So
maybe a badminton racket, but not a squash racket.
Shove something up your ass. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you do it close to an ER. Anyway, back to the list, Locke. Skincare bottle, hair mousse can, piece of a lamp, homemade toy made out of metal, cube-shaped toy, crayon, ratchet wrench, T-handle wrench, says it was in the shower and fell, and the shower stopper stuck up rectum. Okay. Action figure head, action figure, because, well, where there's an action figure head, there's an action figure. Toilet brush. Patient complained of rectal pain, admits to inserting sex toys 6 months prior. 6 months.
6 months. Yeah. I'm going, listen, listen, I know that's embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure that if I got something stuck up my ass, I'd go right away. Can you imagine walking around with that for that long?
With all that embarrassment and all that sepsis? No, I can't.
I am 100% okay just going, hey, listen, can you get this out?
Yeah. Like, what did you do, sir? Well, I shoved it up my ass, clearly. Like, that's the time you want to be honest with the doctor. I use
my 9-iron a lot.
Spoon. It's another one. Vibrator egg, patient not sure if it passed in stool. Deflated balloon, fist-sized water balloon, vegetable peeler, I guess, crochet needle, fishing pole. Patient states it has a big toy in rectum. Patient says he fell on top of it. There's another one. Comb, fragrance beads, reusable ice pack. Whatever. Glass beer bottle, had a few beers, placed a long wax candle into his rectum, lost balance, fell onto the couch, and lost hold of the candle. Okay. Right. Pill
Again, a string, everyone.
I know.
If you're using the candle, just melt the little end and just like let it dry, and then yeah.
Important. Pill container, cologne bottle, perfume bottle. Quote says girlfriend put vibrator in rectum while he was asleep. Yeah, bud. Billiard ball. Patient said he was playing with a container of athlete's foot spray and accidentally ended up in his rectum. Yeah, okay. Plastic candy holder, piece of a broom handle. Put in butt plug and then fell asleep. Now can't find said butt plug. Stainless steel rod, ice cream cone, Monopoly piece, 2 poker chips because of a bet. It's a lot of things in your asshole, friends.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things.
Well, and just think about the people that were able to get it out on their own accord. That did a little bit of planning. There's a lot of people out there hooping.
Yeah, think about it. Like, I'm going to guess that out of 100 hoopings, 1 or 2 go wrong. So if we're talking 40,000 ER hoopings, you're talking
that's a lot of people with bums.
4 million people sticking their things up their ass at the same time. That's awesome. Way to go, America. You love the butt stuff. The weird butt stuff, too.
The thing about it, too, is there are there's some larger items on that list. And again, like I said, from what I've been told, you don't just graduate to to a squash racket. I mean, you got to work your way up to it. Right?
Yeah, you might start with a ping pong ball, then you get a golf ball, then you might do a baseball, but then you might go billiard ball. Like, is that what you're saying? There's a gradual process for the things you want to. Yeah.
That's why
you don't start with a T-handle wrench, right?
That's why butt plugs come in different sizes, right? You need to stretch it out and explore your options.
You got to train your asshole. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And again, it sounds like we know more about the anal game than we should, just based on.
I don't. I base my anal game on being wedgied once in high school. I never want anything in that region again.
Here's my question: do you eat a little ass? Are you a salad tosser?
No.
Okay.
No. That's where the poop is.
See, I'm not into that either.
No.
And I've been judged harshly in certain crowds, in certain company.
Oh, you only get judged harshly by people who want to get E. coli. Like, I mean, who gives a shit? Where they're like, oh, you got to try it. You know why they're telling you it's great? Why they're telling you that's awesome? Is because they now know that they know that you know that they do it, and they want to feel less weird. So they're trying to get everybody else to try it. Listen, as I said before, no judgment. Butt stuff all you want. It's not for this guy. But I do have advice. Number 4. I'm going to go 4-1. Don't put anything in your rectum with teeth. Nothing jagged. That's number 3. Number 2, don't lie to the surgeon ever. Like, ever. He knows. He knows you don't follow.
It's pointless.
And the number 1 thing, Locke, you touched on it a little earlier. This is 100% the truth. Never insert anything inside yourself that doesn't have a base or retrieval string. Ever. You're welcome. I feel
now
like we've done
go out and stick stuff in your bum. I might try this, although I'm new to this game. I don't know if the Trash Panda can is going to be not where you start, people. Right?
No, you start with like a Red Bull or like a chapstick. Yeah. Or a
back scratcher.
And you work your way up to a can.
Back scratcher. And then maybe, in a year or so. Yeah.
You want to work your way up to that pint? Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's not that big of a deal. Linda's
the
on
reason
it.
why I know about
Linda's
butt
like
plugs
Lochlin seems to know a lot about butt plugs. Yes, he does.
I've watched enough videos to know that that this is a gradual process.
People are thanking us for this information, by the way. You didn't want to talk about this list of things that people had stuck inside. Jen Waddell. Thank you, Dean. She's like, thank you, Dean. You're welcome, Jen. Happy to help you anytime.
I was a little concerned about the topic, right?
Why?
Don't knock it until you try Chopper.
That's Chopper. Chopper sends a comment. He's like, don't knock it until you try it, boys. I love it.
Well, I remember I worked with a guy, and he was adamant that I was
missing out.
He's like, have you ever, you don't do any of the bump? And I'm like, no, I said, I don't, it's never crossed my mind to jam anything up my ass. And I wouldn't ask my wife to stick a finger in my bum, or like, I don't want to do it. Like,
would she, if you
it's
asked?
just my wife?
Yeah.
She would probably want me to go get some medical attention, like go see somebody, because she'd probably be concerned about a brain tumor or something if I went that route. Like, and he was just absolutely shocked that there was somebody in his presence that hadn't inserted something in their bum for pleasure. And I was,
Well, listen, here's how I look at it. And I can only talk from experience. So I only share with you my experience. Take you back to my 10th grade year. I'm going to school in a dormitory in Alberta, as a matter of fact. No, this isn't a terrible story. It's a story of fear. It's a story of violence. I get picked up by a couple of guys, and they take me and they hang me by my underwear on a ladder. My underwear was so far up my asshole, I panicked, vomited, and passed out. That's how much it hurt. And I woke up with this panicky, manic pain, grabbing my asshole, trying to pull it away from me, even though it was attached to me because it hurt that bad. Ever since that one moment in the 10th grade, I'll never forget who did it too. Ever since that one moment in the 10th grade, anytime I've been in a situation where someone's like, "Are you into the butt stuff? What about a little butt stuff?" I'm like, hey, time out. We're going to have to tell you a story from my 10th grade year. And I go into the story. Listen, no offense. I don't find that an erogenous zone. I have asshole PTSD. and you cannot go near that thing. That's my story. That's why I'm not into it. Plus,
I am not into it because
I'm not into it because I know what comes. There you go. Again, there are people who live for it, right? And much like all the butt stuff, the things you want to put in yourself, great, good for yourself. Have an awesome time. I applaud you. Great stuff. I am a vanilla guy who will never put a AAA battery in his asshole. Consent is important. It's the most important, most beautiful, important part of sex, by the way. Consent. Jen nailed it.
Yeah. So
look at
that's
Chop.
why
look
I
at
asked.
Chop. Chop's trying to get me to do it. Chopper's he's like not the same feeling, Dean, as being onesied. I'm like, dude, I don't care, and you're never gonna peer pressure me into it. Never.
I would also worry that I would poo, that I would have loose bowels at that moment, and then I would get some on. I'm serious. Not that I put a lot of thought into this, but
you clearly
like
you just
I'm a bit of a nomad when it comes to pooing. Like I poo 2-3 times a day, and it's aggressive at times, and it's quite often loose, right? Like I don't want that flying around.
I fucking love you so much. Oh my God. You know what? I'm really happy you're looking out for your wife. That's awesome. It's quite awesome.
I worry about the random fart when we're having sex too.
Have you done that before?
I've farted, yeah. While we're having sex. Yeah. It's embarrassing. I've been with her for a long time. Every once in a while she'll push in the wrong spot and like I'll get a squeaker. Because sometimes I'm not prepared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it comes around when I'm not ready for it, right? And you can't when it does when the train comes to the station. You don't say, hey, listen, I've been holding a fart for half an hour and I don't really know if we should do this. I never say that. So
when she says, hey, baby, you into a little fun? You don't go, listen, I got to tell you something. I've been holding. I have one in the chamber right now that's brewing. I can't quite get to the bedroom to kick my pants off. Let me pass this fart and I'll join you. Kills the mood. I get it. You don't want to let anybody in on that. That's terrible. And then you're not going to get any, right?
Linda brought up yoga. I will say this though, since I've been doing yoga, I started when I was about 41. I broke my tailbone when I was 40, and I started casually doing yoga at 41. I've been doing it now, like ever since. You have way better control of
your asshole.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Like I have a lot less. I used to at least, I'd say twice a year, shit my pants. I haven't shit my pants in a couple years now. And I think
congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you for telling me. This has been enlightening. Like the last half hour has been about farts and poops and things we got stuck in our assholes. Strangely enough, I feel like I'm home. I can leave the academia behind now safely. Anything intelligent, never happening on this show again. Not interested. Zero interest. I've had more fun talking about things that we got stuck inside ourselves and whether or not Lochlin's into ass play than I have ever had on a podcast. Whoo! Thanks for doing this.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was great to see you. A lot of laughs today.
We should try to make this a regular thing. Wednesday? I know we talk about that. You want to try to do Wednesdays for a bit until you get back into a regular routine?
I'm back. We're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. I got Moss Drop at 11 o'clock on Friday. We got to do a special podcast about dumb shit. And then you and I are doing one at 3 o'clock, unless you're out getting hammered. Are you out getting hammered on the weekend?
Hold on.
Or is Friday a non-hammered day? Are you
Friday?
planning to get blackout Friday?
Can't. My daughter's coming, and I got to go get her.
She's you want to do a podcast, then all of a sudden you want to go see your daughter. That's good.
No, she's coming here.
You know what that is? That is indifference. I just feel indifference from you at this point. Not even sexy indifference. Usually it's pretty cool when you're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need it. It's all good.
I do miss my kids, and so
now you miss your kids. Now you miss your kids.
I do. Listen, my lack of parenting has nothing to do with whether or not I loved them.
Now you love your kids. Oh, that's rich.
I will say this, and any parent who tells you that they are sad about their kids leaving is lying to you. It's been glorious since they've been gone. It's amazing. When they leave,
you just proved everything I said right. I know, right?
Same when thing.
We talked about it at the start. That's why there's like, you know, that like the parental rights thing that's going around. We mentioned it earlier, like parents that are like, I want to have the right to homeschool my kid and teach him whatever the fuck I want. That whole movement that's going around came out of the States. A bunch of Christian weirdos are like, we don't want to send our kids to school where Jesus isn't prayed to every day. So now it's turning this parental rights thing. And I started thinking about it today because everybody's like parental, and they're all fucking idiots. They're stupid. They don't know what you're talking about. Parents should be allowed to teach your kids anything they want, and that kid should never be allowed to go and tell their teacher anything that happens in the home. Well, then you get a chance to like freely abuse your child, you stupid fucking idiot. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But when people are like, I want to homeschool, because it's basically you can't really homeschool your kids, and you like child welfare come and make sure that you're teaching your kids in Canada, all that other stuff. Those people that want to do the parental thing where they're like, I want my kids around 24/7. I'm like, you fucking idiots. Are you serious right now? Parental rights over the state. I'm like, no, that's because we can't give you that because there are some bad parents out there and the state needs to intervene when children are being harmed. Doesn't matter. I should be allowed to do what I want. That's my property. You're like, you're an idiot. And then they're like, plus I don't want my children to be
this
out
is
of
an
my
American
sight
thing,
ever.
right?
Oh yeah,
like,
but it's come up to Canada. Like Polly was talking about on the weekend, a bunch of fucking religious assholes are talking about on the weekend.
Oh my
politicians
God.
and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it is an American thing. Michael Ferris, Christian lawyer, was the guy that started this movement back in 1986. A fucking lunatic. Anyway, long story short, that's the one thing I never understood by that homeschool crowd. It's like, really? Like the second my kids got on the school bus, the second they got home, I was like, yes.
It's a break.
You're gone. I can do what I want.
It's not a bad thing to get a break from your kids. And it's a good thing for your kids to actually have a break from you. If all your kids know is if all their social interactions are with kids and are with family, parents, and that kind of thing, I'm sorry, they're not going to end up right. They're going to have issues. And there's enough things out there to screw your kids up without you teaching them at home. I'm sorry. You will never convince me that homeschooling is a good idea. Just save your emails. Honestly.
Yeah.
It is it is so not something that I believe in.
No,
and I believe this.
Well, they're not teachers. Like they're not teachers. They're human beings trying to teach kids with no teaching degree. Like I'm just going to teach them myself. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Are there bad teachers out there? Absolutely. Sure. I also truly believe this. I kept my kids out of schools with religion. Like I actively pursued schools that did not have religion in them. And it was one of the few parenting moves that I had, and my wife was okay with it. I'm like, my kids will not go to a school where they're saying the Lord's Prayer in the morning. It will not happen. I am not subjecting my kids to that. And there was actually a letter that came out because the public school system in the town we lived in, the smaller community in Edmonton, St. Albert, the Catholic school is the public school. So I'm like, I guess they're not going to public school because that's not happening. My kids I'm not subjecting them to that. It's not happening. And I think more people need to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally agree.
We put them in French immersion, and they were on the, like, in another, it wasn't private school, but it was another track that wasn't the Catholic. It wasn't the public system. And about a year and a half in, a letter came out that said, we were thinking about introducing some religion to the school, blah, blah, blah. And I was going to go down to the school and I was going to pull my kids out of that school. And
why? Because religion is a plague, is the plague known to every man on this planet, man and woman. Is that why?
This is my belief.
Oh, it's mine too.
My belief. And I made lots of mistakes as a parent.
No, it's the
right belief. Lots of mistakes as a parent, and no one's going to call me up and give me an award for Father of the Year. That's never happening. But I'm telling you right now, that's one move that I will, and when my kids have kids, we will have conversations about the lack of religion in their lives, in my grandkids' lives.
As you should. You should put your hand at. You should say, "Hey, listen.
You
Anybody
can have a
that
problem with
introduces
that.
religion to my children doesn't get any inheritance. None.
And do not come to my fucking front door and tell me with a pamphlet how to live my life. You are going to get an earful from me."
I had one of those.
I also have a drinking problem,
and he's a little angry. Lochlin Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. Find him on Twitter at Lochlin Cross. Give him or X, whatever the fuck you call Twitter now. I don't even care. And give him a listen every single weekday morning. 957cruisefm.ca. His morning show is outstanding.
Dean was on my show today.
Yeah, talking Ted Lasso. We talked Ted Lasso twice today. It was a lot of fun. Loved the show today. Loved what you did to Jimmy, putting his naked picture behind you in the studio too. Thought that was brilliant. Well done. That's content.
It's a little game we're playing. He can't get there because the bus doesn't get him before we do our pre-show post. So we're putting weird pictures of him behind us, which we have multiples.
Oh, I know.
We'll be able to go the full year.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, go and listen to his morning show, 957cruisefm.ca. That is Lochlin Cross. Thanks for doing this, brother. We'll talk to you next week, Monday.
I should be able to go Monday. We're coming back. Monday is a holiday, though. Remember that? Labor Day.
We're not doing it Monday. We're doing it Tuesday.
Okay, then Tuesday.
We'll
Tuesday. I'm missing Friday because of my. I'm gonna go. I got to go get my daughter. She flies in at 3.
Oh, that's right, because you love her now. Yeah, I forgot.
I always love my kids. My lack of parenting had nothing to do with my love for them.
Okay, appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon. Lochlin Cross, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, folks, for being here today. We appreciate it. As always, brought to you by our friends at Cantork. Go to cantork.com for more information on how you can get your hands on a hydraulic loosening and fastening torque wrench. Yeah, they make them. They make them for every application: heavy machinery, railroad, nuclear, steel industry, forestry industry. Doesn't matter what you need a torque wrench for. If you can't find a loosening or fastening solution or some type of bolting solution with an industrial torque wrench, these guys make them for industries around the world. Located in Edmonton, Alberta. Go to cantork.com. See my friend Colin for more information. And of course, we're brought to you by Gitch, Canada's luxury branded boxer briefs. Pouch in the front, super soft, very breathable. You can do any of these things. You can do anything. You can do pole vault. You can sit. You can do triple jump. You can lay down. You can run as fast as you can. These are the best underwear you'll ever buy. Not only are they soft, barely their fabric, but you can do anything, and they're made for all levels of performance. Trust me, I wear them every day. You can get them too. Pouched underwear, Gitch. Go to edsfineimports.com. Order them today. GITCH3. That is your promo code. Have a wonderful day. Oh, by the way, you get a free pair when you use the promo code when you check out. You're welcome. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, you can get everything we do at crier.co. Again, Crier Media is located at crier.co. Have a wonderful day. See you Friday with David Moscrop. Bye, friends.